Hi everyone, it's me again. I wanted to make a quick video this evening or this morning. It's 5 a.m. here in St. Louis, and I wanted to make a quick response video to Moses. He posed another interesting question dealing with criticism, and so I will kind of repeat the question and then I'll answer it accordingly. So he's talking about criticism and how we deal with criticism, and but he worded his question kind of in an interesting fashion. He said, not the criticism that you benefit from, and I guess he was alluding to the fact that there's positive criticism and then there's negative criticism, and he wants us kind of to talk about negative criticism, and I think I guess I'll talk about both. I saw his response video. It was great. Positive criticism, it's obvious that we can all benefit from it, especially in regards to language learning. If I went to France and then someone says, oh, your French is good, but you're making a mistake here, or you're making a mistake here, and so I would know about it, and then I would kind of work on that mistake so that I wouldn't make that mistake in the future, or that I would gradually make that mistake less and less, and then eventually it's gone. I think mistakes, obviously making mistakes, we learn from our mistakes, and when we learn from our mistakes, we increase our level in that language, and this goes with anything, it's positive, I used to be a personal trainer, so I had to deal with criticism myself, dishing out the criticism to other people, but I guess not really criticizing people, but just kind of helping them in a way, like, hey, I'm your trainer, I could, show you how to do this and how to do this, and if you have problems doing this, then I can show you how to do it in the correct way without, chastising you or without putting you down. I guess that's negative criticism. That's criticism in a negative fashion. So positive criticism obviously helps with languages, training at the gym, etc. Negative criticism, it depends on how you react to it. I like negative criticism most of the time. Like I said, it depends on how you react and what you do with that, because you can take it and do whatever you want with it. You can throw it back to the person. You can use it for your energy, and I guess I'll talk about that. So because I don't think there's any real negative energy if you turn it out to a positive, but I guess negativity, I dealt with it when I was in Germany for the first time, and this guy, I was at a friend's house, Stefan, and he was shaving my head, and he was complimenting me about how my German was, and it was a nice compliment. I knew that my German was not that good at the time, and but this guy, he didn't have to say this, but he was like, oh yeah, his German it's terrible, and that's pretty, the way he said it, it's communication. I learned that communication is not necessarily what is said, but how it's said, and the way he said it, it was very kind of condescending, and but it hurt that he said that my German was not good and that you're terrible, and but I used that energy and I said, oh, okay, what can I do? So I come back here, and I learn harder. It makes me work harder. That negative energy, turning a negative into a positive, and so you take, I guess it's kind of like fire, like people spit fire at you, and you take this fire and you put this fire, into your heart, and this fire, it kind of like lights your heart up, and lights this passion up inside of you, this motivation, and this inspiration, and it inspires you to work harder in the language or work harder at the sport you're doing or whatever you are practicing. And that worked with me in German, and it worked with me in French. I love negative criticism. Not too many people, I guess some people comment on YouTube, you're not speaking German, you're speaking Bavarian, have my Bavarian flag behind me today. And people, it really helps, it builds you up, because at first you're not used to the criticism, and you have to, because there are always I guess, trolls and people who are jealous. And that's another thing that I think about when I think of negative criticism. I think, okay, why am I getting this negative criticism? Another place where I get negative criticism is at the gym. I go to the gym quite frequently, and at the gym there are all these guys and a lot of testosterone, and everyone wants to be a tough guy and outman the other person, and get respect and all that stuff. And so people always try to criticize, not necessarily for what is going on at the gym, but what is going on outside the gym. People, things that people don't have, it's none of their business, and they try to pry in my business. I'm sure that it happens to people watching this. And when I get negative criticism from people in general, and then especially in these situations, I think, okay, well, maybe this person is criticizing because that person's self-confidence is low enough to a point that he or she has to criticize other people for no apparent reason, and it's not really relevant. And I think about the people who criticize me, and although I'm in kind of a tight spot right now, it could be worse. And at least I try my best to be a nice person and to not criticize people, but I think about why people do that. And are people jealous? Are they jealous and they want to just put you down? Because it's not. I've dealt with it so much that it won't really hurt me anymore. And I think that people should deal with negative criticism and positive criticism, and because it pushes you in more ways than one. Another way, you're after a while, I think you're prepared for it, especially people who make videos, and then people who just get in a situation where they get trolled a lot. I had a guy comment, I get people who bother me about my flags in the background. Usually in my videos I have a German flag. Today I have a German one. I wrote down a comment one guy said, but it helps you with sarcasm, and then taking it and then throwing a criticism, not right back at the person, not criticizing the person, but being clever about it and practicing, being a little clever and sarcastic and being funny at the same time. I like jokes, and I like word games and stuff like that. An example, some guy. So I made a video about German stereotypes not a few months ago, but in maybe 5-6 months ago. And it was about German stereotypes, false German stereotypes, and instead of this, a few people, instead of paying attention to the content of the presentation of the video, they focused on other things in my room. I guess people can see the closet door, they can see the Bavarian flag, my plans, but I had a German flag in this video, and this guy decides to bother me, annoy me a little bit, I guess criticize me on my video making, and as if I were a professional, as if he were a professional, and giving me advice in a negative way. Because, okay, I'll let you all know how I dealt with this. I have it here. So the guy tells me, dude. And a lot of people, they start out with dude. I don't know why. I guess it's because I'm American, and dude is a nice word for American English. But this guy, dude, first of all, I'll remove that stupid flag because I have the German flag. Then do videos, and okay. Oh, I'm sorry that I had the flag in the background. I'm proud to learn German. I'm really sorry. Not really. So my response to him, because he's telling me like, dude, first do this, and then do that. So I said, okay, first leck mich im Arsch, and then halt die Fresse. And then I told him, I gave him a nice English lesson because he said then do videos, but you make videos. So I said you don't do videos, you make videos. So I turned the criticism around and made a little joke out of it and taught him some English. I thought about being an English teacher already, so I guess that was my English lesson for the day. And I mean, I thought it was, a lot of people thought it was funny, and commented about it. Commented about my jokes. So I guess that's negative criticism. And I guess people who don't, I guess advice, or talking about people who don't receive too much criticism yet. Maybe it will happen, maybe it will not. But there are always people who criticize you and who will always be there to criticize you. Maybe not now, maybe later. However, it's not the worst thing. Life goes on. We should use it to fuel us because it is kind of fire, and we need to fuel ourselves with this fire and push ourselves to not make it any more negative than it actually is, because all that negativity, it's not really worth it in the long run. Am I really going to get bothered, or should we really get bothered about something so insignificant as some guy or some girl saying something about your looks or your language skills or whatnot? Because we have time to improve. And if we don't have time to improve, if we're a little bit older, then who cares, life goes on, and we should use I wanted to, Nietzsche, Nietzsche, he had a quote, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I really think about that, with criticism, because people shouldn't be, I'm a sensitive guy, but at the same time we shouldn't be that sensitive and let every little small thing affect us. Otherwise we wouldn't really get anywhere in our lives, in our languages. We would worry, we would be too focused on the criticism. Oh man, why was he criticizing me about that? Or I really have to do this, I'm stressed out about this. No. Use it for energy, and use it to push you, because it will make you stronger. It'll make you, it'll just motivate you. It'll inspire you to go further. And if someone says you can't do something, you can't do that, it's too hard for you, then make it a goal for yourself. Because maybe it is too hard for me, but I want to prove this. I want to prove to myself that I can do this, and that I will do this, and prove it. So you prove it to yourself that that other person or those other people are wrong, and then you prove it to those people themselves. It's not really worth it to prove it to them or prove them wrong. But at the same time, it does make it more interesting. But you don't throw it in their face. You don't show off, because that in turn could lead to more negative things. But then I guess criticism comes from, where it comes from. I think it comes from people who are somewhat arrogant. I guess I would tie criticism and arrogance together in a way. Someone would be presumptuous enough to criticize someone else without looking at the flaws that he or she has, you know. That's why I don't criticize. That's why I try my best not to criticize other people in a negative way, because, you know, I'm trying to work on myself. I think we should work on ourselves before we conveniently take the time to negatively criticize someone else, because it doesn't really make sense. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. But if someone does, if someone is arrogant enough to do that, then we should take it in a positive way. And so I guess this connection of arrogance and criticism kind of makes me want to say that we should all be humble. I always try to be humble, and I think that people should be humble in whatever they do, because I guess that sense of humility makes us, I guess that pushes us also further in the language, or, you know, in the gym, what have you, whatever your goals may be. And everything helps you, you know, humility and the criticism, a combination of that, and then support, they help you for the future. So I guess that is all. Those are my 2 cents for criticism. And I don't know whether to title this criticism or advice about haters. But if you have any questions or comments, please comment. And I guess I wanna say that I will take my computer to the Apple Store pretty soon, as I said at the beginning, because I hear the sounds coming from the fan. I hear the fan, and so I hope that this problem will be mitigated pretty soon, because I want to make some interesting videos. I want to make some fun videos in different languages, different accents, and stuff like that. So I hope you all have a nice day, have a nice night, and thank you for watching my video. And yeah, I will see you all very, very soon, hopefully. Ciao.